What up, guys? Already a thumbs down. Come on now. We can do better than that. We got to love. I know I'm a few seconds behind, but come on now. Anyway, we love people, even if they do give us the thumbs down. We understand that, you probably have other issues, but that's okay. So, I want to talk a little bit about how we can start, grow, and go from 0 to 300,000 or more, but anywhere in between that is really a one man band can do anywhere from 0 to 100, 200. I know some one man bands doing $300,000, and this is not that hard to do at the end of the day. Now, is it hard? Yes. I'm not going to say it's easy because not everybody is cut out for it. And so I want to talk a little bit about that of how we can go and get this done at the end of the day. And so what got me started on this is I started a new podcast. If you go to kingofpressurewash.com/podcast. And I started doing my podcast. And so in business, we have to make lots of decisions. We have to make decisions about what website do we want? What piece do we downstream? Do we soft wash? Do we XJet? And we have all these questions that we have to answer ourselves. And a lot of times we get into the point of we get stuck. We're like, I don't know, Jason. Do I XJet? Do I downstream? Do I do this? Do I do that? This has this widget. Do I use ResponsiBid? Because Bobby says to use ResponsiBid. Jason says to use ResponsiBid. All these other things get us all the little things that keep coming up that we have to make decisions. And a lot of times we will sit there and think on something and think on something and be like, And guess what happens? Nothing good happens. So last week I told you I was going to get my podcast up. Well, I've been doing this for 3 months now, trying to get my podcast up. And I was hitting all the little decisions that you all usually get to hit and to build a business. And the one decision was there's like two or three. Do I use Buzzsprout? Do I use this website? Do I use all these different softwares? Which one's best? Which one? This one has that. This one costs this much. This costs that much. This one's free. This one's not free. And it's like all these little things. And I kept trying to get to it of what do I need to do? So finally I did it. I just picked one and I went with it. The next thing I had to figure out is GarageBand because I didn't know how to get I didn't know how to do the I didn't know how to get the MP4 to an MP3. So that way it was a video to an audio thing. So then I had to learn GarageBand. And I remember going through these steps when I started doing pressure washing. A couple weeks ago, I did the steps of me growing my business, and that is one of the podcasts that is on there. I'm on all of the podcasts that I know of right now, Podcast, Apple Podcast, Google, Spotify, and a couple other ones. And so I remember doing all this stuff of websites. Do I do Wix? Do I do a WordPress? Do I do Weeble? Do I pay somebody? All the different things that keep coming up into our head that allow us to, a lot of times we will say, I can't do that, or it's hard. We got to do a lot of hard things in our business. Sometimes we have to do things to be able to get us to that next level, because if we can't do hard things, we're going to get stumbled. And you know what? We're going to fail. I failed trying to get this stupid podcast up because I did one thing and I was like, well, that didn't work. And so I had to figure out how to do things to get things right. I had to figure out how to get my YouTube videos into an MP3 so that I could upload it in there. So I had to do a downloader, and I had to do all these things to get my business so that I could get this podcast up there for you guys so that you can hear information if you just don't want to see it, but you can actually listen to it. And that's why I did that for them. So the things that we got to do to get from 0 to 100, 200, 300,000. And so there's some things that we need to do. There's some steps that we need to take. There's some there's some different things that's going to come. You know, a lot of times I hear, "Oh, I don't know if I can do that." But if Bobby is still in here, he's got a great course talking about, and it's free. The very first one is free, and it talks about market research. And in there, if he's still here, hopefully he is, and he will put the link in there. I haven't seen it come up here yet, but if Bobby's still in here, if he would do that, it talks about, you know, where our nicer part of neighborhoods are, where they make more money, where they do any of that kind of stuff. And so it goes through and it shows you step by step. It shows you the how to go to Melissa data and find out all this information. And to find that, so put your link down there for these guys if you can for me. I'd appreciate it. And that way you guys can go check out that part of his beginning of his course, because the market that will help you find out a lot of different things. That will say, you know, should I spend a lot of marketing over here, or should I spend more marketing over here? You know, are these people going to be giving me my money, or are these people going to get my money? These people here make $100,000, their average home, and these people over here only at 50,000. I'm probably going to go over here, because that's information that we need to know so that we can be successful at the end of the day, to make sure that we can get our money to where we need to be at. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to figure out, you know, who is our customer? What is their pain point? What are some things that we can do to make that happen? And so these are some things that we want to look at to be able to do that. And, you know, people will say, "Oh, you can't make that kind of money doing pressure washing." Bull crap. Like I say, I know somebody right up the street, or right up the state from me, that lived in the middle of nowhere, Connorsville, Indiana. Connorsville, Indiana is very small. There's nobody. Population is very small, and he's doing $150,000 a year. It can be done in the country. He lives in the country, and it is very small, and you don't have a lot of people around, and it can be done. I guarantee you. Um, let's see. Oh, I had a lots of comments coming in there. Researching, learning is a must before jumping into your business. And this is a good thing to do. It is definitely a good thing to do, to make sure that you are researching and finding out, you know, maybe you don't do offer one service, because maybe you find out that a lot of these people have patio pavers. And so now you're going to go in toward more to the ceiling side of things, or we're going to go in toward, you know, if we have, maybe we're going to do more roof cleaning. Maybe roof cleaning isn't well known around your area. Maybe a lot of people don't know about your business and roof cleaning. And so that is some things we got to look at to see. You know, I know people that do really well with Christmas lights. I know other people that don't do so well with Christmas lights. And you want to know why they don't do well with Christmas lights? Because there's no competition. So you might think, well, no competition is good. Not always, because now we have to train the market to say, hey, we offer this service. We are your go-to guy. But if people don't know that that service exists, guess what? You don't get no customers at that point. And so you really got to do some education on that point. And a lot of times I see this in roof cleaning and Christmas lights. You know, some places have Christmas lights, and there's a lot of people know about Christmas lights, and everybody and their brothers offering Christmas lights. A lot of times the landscapers, everybody and their brothers will start offering Christmas lights, but what they don't realize is they didn't charge enough, and then they go out of business. And so that is where we got to be smart with it, and we got to learn that kind of stuff. You know, with lots of competition often means lots of demand. It's usually a good thing. Yes, exactly. Because, like I say, I know a guy in Indiana, and he's on and this is a different dude that does up around the Indianapolis area, and he does Christmas lights. He's been doing it for 10 years of Christmas lights. He's got a second location up in Connecticut, and it's a lot harder to get customers because there's only one or two competitors, and there's not nobody out there selling that same service that we're trying to do. And so if nobody's Googling Christmas lights, then guess what? Nobody's going to be, you can't go to Google and say, I'm going to buy all the Google leads that say Christmas lights. because there's nobody doing it. Maybe it's roof cleaning, maybe it is something else, and so we have to be able to go out there and make sure that we can do that. And sometimes it's not an easy thing to do. And some ways that we can do that is through Facebook ads. If we can do some Facebook ads and all that good kind of stuff. So, Bobby's talking here. Make sure I will be having a training with Bobby in January. So, keep an eye out on that one. So the next thing we want to do is after we figure out our market and make sure that we have a market and make sure that we have people that can afford the market, the next thing we want to really look at is, how are we going to market to these people? Are we going to be boots on the ground? Are we going to do Facebook ads? Are we going to do signs? Are we going to do AdWords? Are we going to do LinkedIn? Or are we going to do Instagram? Are we going to do mailers? Are we going to do clip flyers? Are we going to do, oh my God, all these things? What do I need to do, Jason, to be able to get business? You're telling me all this stuff. Do I need to do it all? And my answer is going to be no. Because when we try to do everything, we do good at nothing. If we try one thing and we try really hard and we give it all it's got, and then we say, okay, that works, or no, that don't work. Now we go to the next thing and we put a lot of energy in here and we do a lot and focus and do it. Does it work? Yes, it works. Then keep putting focus in there. Then once we get good at that, then we can start moving to other things. Now, can we kind of shoot at everything a little bit just to see what we can? We just got to be careful sometimes, because what happens is sometimes we will sit there and say, well, that don't work. That didn't work, Jason. Well, how many signs did you put out? I put out all 100 signs. That don't work. Did you put out 1,000 signs? Well, no, because I only put out 100 and it didn't work. Put out 1,000, see what happens. You might have did it at the wrong time. You might have did it at the wrong day. You might have did it at the wrong time of year. You never know at the end of the day. So these are some things we have to look at. Another one, if we're doing door hangers, have you put out 10,000, 20,000? So that way we can see, all right, this day works good. And when we put out 20,000 flyers, we're not going to put them out to 20,000 different houses. We're going to put them out at like 5,000 houses and do it 4 times. Then we can say this worked, that worked. Not, well, I put out 20,000 different homes and that didn't work. Because whenever we hit door hangers, whenever we hit like clip flyers, EDM, this isn't a one and done. We need to hit these people 3-4 times in a row. Every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, we're sending a mailer, we're hitting the clip flyers, we're doing that kind of stuff. Even on the signs, I tried to do about every 4 weeks. They were getting in that neighborhood. So what I would do is I would put 4 sections. So, from around here, on one day we'd hit the north. On the next Friday, I'd hit the east side of Cincinnati. The next Friday, I'd hit the south. The next Friday, I'd hit the west. And so what that does is when I come back the next time around, they're going to see that. And so some of those signs will stick around for those 4 weeks. Some of those signs don't make it very long at all. And so we have to sit there and to keep coming around. And again, touches. It's about 7, and I've heard it's up to 21, 32 touches, depending on what it is and how often we're going to be able to do it. Now, the next thing, I preach LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn can definitely get us a lot of business. I think LinkedIn is one of those secret tools that a lot of people don't know how to use. And so when we're talking LinkedIn, most people on LinkedIn have a decent job, because that's what LinkedIn is. Most of those have a decent job. Most of them are wanting to say, look at me, I do this. And so LinkedIn is one of those kind of secret things that nobody really knows how it works, and don't know how to do it. And I'm trying to find somebody that's made a lot of money off LinkedIn, and I'm going to bring them on here to teach you all how to do LinkedIn better. Now, some things that we need to do with LinkedIn. We need to make sure that we have all our stuff filled out on LinkedIn. We need to make sure that we need to make sure that we have, and it's not all about me. It's, or look, I'm a pressure washer. I'm a pressure washer. These people don't care. LinkedIn is more about building relationships and to be able to grow that way. So the next thing, once we get it all filled out, then we need to start connecting with people. Now, we don't go and connect to 1,000 people at a time because LinkedIn is going to boot you. Somebody just messaged me. I think they were at like 90 people or 100 people, and LinkedIn boot them for a couple days. We want to do 10 a day, 10 here, 10 tomorrow, 20 here, 20 there, and we're going to add and keep adding them. Now, what are the type of people that we're looking for so that we can add to LinkedIn? Well, if you're wanting to grow commercial side of business, then I would be looking for, and you can search all this right in LinkedIn. I'd start looking for property managers. You can bring it all the way down to your location, your metro area, whatever you're looking for, and we can find every property manager that puts property manager in that area. We're going to look for, if you have a lot of hotels, we're going to put hotels in that thing. Building, all HOAs, all these different things we're going to put in there, and there's different tools in there that we can also. This is just what I'm talking about is just the free side of LinkedIn. There's one thing that you can pay, I believe it's $49 a month through LinkedIn, and it's called sales something, and we can do different things with that. We can really target people. When we're dealing with LinkedIn on the free side, you don't get a lot of information. They hold a lot back. When you start paying for LinkedIn, then we can see who's looking at us. We can see all that kind of stuff. The other thing is we want to, I would suggest doing some little before and afters. I know Benjamin here locally, he uses LinkedIn. He's made, last time I talked to him, he was at $150,000 just this year off of LinkedIn, costing him that much dollars. Now, it costs time, and time is money, so it did cost some because it's cost him time and stuff like that. So with that said, the next thing, once we get done with LinkedIn, is we're going to start posting. We're going to start commenting on other people's things. We're going to start liking. We're going to start talking to people and all of those good things. And so do it yourself marketing or paid professional. That is a good question. Right now, everything I've taught so far is do it yourself. LinkedIn is a do it yourself. You can pay somebody to do that. You can pay somebody to do different things. This is a do it yourself. So if you don't feel comfortable with it, then pay for it. Is that, I always say there's two ways to get business. And this was a great illustration of that. So there was a guy at Washathon that he has money. He has money. He has, he's not broke. And so, he was able to spend money to be able to get stuff. He has a lot of equipment that he bought, and he did a lot of different things. And you're exactly right. My time is worth $225 to $250 an hour. So when we take that, we want to make sure that we want to do that. Another good thing, I hire off Upwork for LinkedIn. Cheap. That's a good thing. Freelancer's another one that you can hire, and it's even easier to use than Upwork. And so that's another way we can hire people to do this. So there's two ways to get customers. One is we sit here and take a lot of time and a lot of effort, and we got to learn everything and fail at it and learn some more and fail at it. And finally, we figure out what works and what doesn't. The other way we can do it is open our wallet. If we open our wallet, give them a credit card, and they just start taking. And we can fail at that way too. Don't think that we can't fail at that way either, because we can fail by opening our wallet at the end of the day. So what we want to do is we want to be able to get that customers flowing coming in. So a lot of people get worried about, but Jason, I don't know how to pressure wash. I'm not very fast. I'm not very good. It's hard. I don't know what to do. So there's things we can do for that too. We can do all kinds of things for that. We can, you can learn on here. You can learn that, I'm having an in-person class coming up in a couple weeks. It's a great way to learn. I'm going to teach more about marketing. I'm going to teach more about pressure washing. And so you really can, at the end of the day, make what I put in the beginning, 0 to 300,000 and anywhere in between. And really the only thing that's going to stop you from making that is probably you. Um, if you have self-doubt, you're probably not going to make that much, because at the end of the day, you have to believe in yourself. You can do it. Is it going to be hard work? Yes. Are you going to fail? Yes. Are you going to learn from those failures? As long as you don't quit. If you quit, then you're not going to learn from those failures. And at the end of the day, do you want to do this the rest of your life? Maybe, maybe not. But you know what? I about guarantee you that you will learn something in this business that you can do somewhere else. That you can take this knowledge and do it somewhere else. Because at the end of the day, marketing is marketing, customer service is customer service, and that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about at the end of the day. Is customers, and we got to do customer service, because you know what customer service is? When that person calls and says you screwed something up. Now, the first thing you got to do is answer that phone, because if we don't answer that phone, that's being bad at customer service in the beginning. And so these are some things that we have to do to make a successful business. Again, is it going to be hard? Yes. Can it be done? Yes. Can you do it? Yes, you can do it. And so this is why I do what I do, because I want you to be successful. I want you to be able to hit that $100,000 mark. I want you to be able to hit that 150. I want you to hit the 300. If you shoot for it, I want you to hit the $1,000,000. I will do whatever I can do to make you get to that point. I've gotten to that point. I know what it takes to get to that point. I can help you get to that point. And that is my goal at the end of the day, is to making you successful, to make more Gregs, more Nicks, more other people that I know out there that I have helped them. Jason, he's going to hit a $10,000 month this month. He's just going to do it. He's been working hard, and he's at the starting of the busy season in Florida, and it's going to happen. And so I know it can happen. Is he going to have to do work? Yes. Can he get lazy? No, not if he wants to hit it, because we got to sit there and keep it going. We can't be like, oh, we're going to do marketing. We're going to do marketing. And then the next thing, I got all this work. I got to go do this work. And then our marketing crashes over here, and we don't keep this going. So we got to keep this going, and we got to keep this going over here. This is the work and stuff. We got to keep all the marketing stuff. We cannot stop marketing, and we cannot stop doing sales. If we stop answering the phone, then our business is going to go down. And so, now, is this something that we can do just really fast? It's going to take some time. So you can do it at the end of the day. I guarantee you can do it. And that's why I wanted to get on here, because I know you can do it. So some things that can help you out is I am having my training with Donovan in North Carolina, in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so I have some things here. Imagine this, Jason having packages. If I never talked about packages, you can see here that you can do just the Raleigh pressure washing. You can do the Raleigh Christmas lights. You can do both. You get a discount. Also, if you have two people, you can get a discount for the 2 days, either pressure washing or Christmas lights. Whoa, that's on the pressure washing day. We will be going to do. We will be going to. We will be going to do some gutter cleaning business, and that's another add-on. A lot of people don't realize that. Well, I can't get to $100,000 just from pressure washing. I'm not going to do it. Well, you know what? Maybe you need to add another service. Maybe you're starting out and you need a longer season, because at the end of the day, pressure washing around here is an 8-month season, maybe 9 if you're lucky, because once it gets cold, people quit calling you anyway. And so These are some things we can do. Now, can you make that 100 to 300,000 in that 9 months? Absolutely, you can. I know Michael Kreisley used to do it all the time. We did it. It can happen. I know you can do it. I see people do it all the time. You don't need to add that. If you want to do 100 to $300,000 in pressure washing and then go to Florida and lay on the beach down there next to Jason while he's working, then that's what you can do. It can happen. You can definitely do it. You can do snow removal, snow plowing is another thing. I just met a guy from Washington, and he's done 800, or he's right at $750,000 in landscaping, and a lot of that is in snow removal. And so, yes, there is other things that you can do to do that, the snow removal and all that good stuff. So, I'll answer some questions if you all have any questions. But again, you can go check out trainingdates.com. That'll take you to the Raleigh training. I will be having the other training on there for Orlando. It's going to be in a really nice time. It's going to be like January 2nd. So that is definitely. Sign up with Jason. He will give you pictures. Yes, I will give you pictures. If you go to pressurewashhelp.com/training, you can find that out. If you're looking for Christmas light pictures, you can go to this one here, and that gives you. I got new Christmas light pictures up there. I know I've had a lot of people asking about my Christmas light pictures. I did that last week. And then also you can go here, pressurewashhelp.com/free, get you your first 30 days free. And there is a couple hundred pictures of pressure washing. I put all the pressure washing and the Christmas light pictures in there so that you all can use them, and that way it will help you start your website, help you do all that kind of stuff. I want to buy professional Christmas lights for my home. Try where to buy. Go to right here. You can go to christmaslights.io. I have that website up and running. I have some packages. Again, I love packages. And I have just a small package of, it's 150 lights. If you need more than that, let me know, and I will set up maybe a package of 200 people or 200, and that way you can get those lights there. But I did do, this was something else I did. I never did. And, I've been learning all kinds of things. Again, I know how to work on websites and stuff, but I didn't know how to do Shopify, so I had to figure out how to work Shopify. So if you go here to, where is that at? Oh, right here, you scroll down to packages for new installers. These are some different packages. This is a package for a one house. It's 150 lights, 150 bulbs. I think it's a case of minis and all different kinds of stuff. The electric wire, all that good stuff. And then for to do 5 houses and then to do 9 houses. So I do have some different packages because I like to practice what I preach. I know I don't always do that, and somebody was giving me crap the other day because I didn't practice what I preach. But packages are a good thing to do. Packages are a great way to do it. That's another. GMB is awesome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that because I know Brian Tompkins. I don't know if he watches me much on my lives or not, but Brian Tompkins was in Washington this last 2 weeks ago, and Brian Tompkins did $100,000. He's going to be on my live in a couple weeks. He did $100,000 from being a teacher, so part-time. He's not even a full-time pressure washer. He's done $100,000 this year. Last year he started. This year he's done $100,000. He's probably going to be about 125 by the time he's done this year. And so this is what he's done. Now, he came to me back in, he's bought a mixer valve from me and some other things through the last 2 years. And back in the spring, he's like, Jason, my Google My Business is all jacked up. Will you help me? And so I tried to help him, and I couldn't get it done. And I worked with it, trying over the phone, talking to him, and I couldn't get it to fix. So he come to Washington, and he thought he was going to be the little dog. He ended up being the big dog, making already $100,000 this year. And what I did, he come up to me and he's like, Jason, here's my phone. Will you fix my Google My Business? And so I was like, well, let me look at it. And so I started doing some buttons on there, and I couldn't really do what I needed to do. So I was like, so I gave myself access through his phone, and I'm like, here, let me go get my computer, and I'll see what I can do. Well, 30 minutes later, I had his Google My Business. I, so what had happened is he had two Google My Business. He's a handyman. At website was HH Handyman basically, and then his HH pressure washing is what he wanted to everything. He's kind of getting out of the handyman thing because there's more money to make in pressure washing. So I'm like, all right. So I got it all. I shut that down and I did my little magic. And about 30 minutes later, I had his Google My Business up and running. So his old, I just took it. I changed the old Google My Business and I made that all the HH pressure washing because that was the same address. Everything was the same except the name was the only thing different and the website. So I got it all done. So that was 2 weeks ago, and he was at 26 reviews from the old Google My Business. Well, as of today, I looked because I still have access and I see him getting all these 5-star reviews. He's at 49 5-star reviews right now. And so his competitor was way down. And so he is in the top three just by me doing what I did. He's in the top three map pack, and so he's going to do really well next year. He made $100,000 without being in the map pack. You want to be in the map pack. The map pack is where your money is going to be made, your Google My Business. And so that's something else that we're going to work on. All these things we got to work on when we are doing our Google My Business. And Google My Business is definitely something that you want to do. Most of us new guys can't afford a great converting site with service SEO, but GMB you can rank in map pack fast and get jobs close to home. And so I want to talk about that, Jeremy, because that's a good point. Because I want to talk a little bit about SEO and that kind of stuff. A lot of guys, they're going to tell you they're going to get you number one in the map pack or in Google. And there's another YouTuber that was showing his stats of how he's ranking number one. When you really take it down and you really start breaking it down, is he really number one in the words that people are searching? No, he's not. So what he had was pressure washing, city, state. He was number one in it. But how many people are searching pressure washing, city, state? I'm going to tell you very few, zero. So on this ranking page that he was so happy to show, it really wasn't showing nothing. Now, it was showing number one, and it looked great on number one. And he's paying so much a month to be in that spot. And I'm not saying that it's bad to be paying for SEO. I'm saying that just be careful what you're looking at. If you don't know what you're looking at, that can be an issue. So, yes, he was number one, but it was pressure washing, city, state. Again, nobody's searching that. Most people are typing in pressure washing, roof cleaning, maybe roof cleaning in city, maybe. And you know how I know this? Because I've spent enough money on AdWords that I can show you that people are not searching all of this stuff, city, state, zip code, the whole 9 yards. And so just be careful with SEO companies that want to show you that they're ranking you. Because you know what? I can rank you number one for your name because there's not many Jimmy Bob pressure washings in your location. So I can rank that real easy. And that's not a thing that's hard to rank. What is hard to rank is and you're on the right track. The more we work with the Google My Business, the better off you're going to be at the end of the day. Back in the old days, it was how many links we could get to your website. Before that, it was how many keywords does it say pressure washing on your website. And then Google came up with all these different animals that went bam, knocked them right in the head and knocked out all of that stuff. So it used to be how many keywords was on there. And so there's black hat and gray hat and white hat SEO. Really, anybody that's trying to rank is going to be gray hat right off the get-go, because you're trying to get above somebody else so that you can do, you can outrank something. So they got rid of how many, because one thing they would do is they would put the keywords in white. So if you had a white website, they would have all these keywords in the back side of it. And so that was one way. The next way is how many links can I get to that website? And so Google would look out there and say, man, this site must be good. It's got 1,000 different links showing to that. Well, Google found that. Google's smarter than that and went, cut that out. Then it was content is king. And so then you had all these websites putting out all this content. And content can be good. I'm not going to say it's not, but that's not all that we have to do. Content is only one piece of it. Now, if we write content and we're very good at being persistent and we're very good at being prolific and we're going to do it all the time, then that's a way to do it. If we're going to write one article a year, don't even mess with it, because it's not going to rank at the end of the day. It's just not. I'm sorry to tell you that it's just not going to rank. So Google My Business is a good way that we can start ranking our websites. I did my CPA's website. I didn't write no content. It's very little content. And I did a lot on the Google My Business side of things. I got him reviews. I got him citations. There's about 300 to 500 citations I got him. I did Google My Post. I did posts. I did pictures. And this is a dude that makes a lot of freaking money. And when I mean he makes a lot of money, I mean he makes so much money that you're like, there's no freaking way. There is a way. It's just, you just got to get to that point. And so he usually grows anywhere from about 6 to 8% a year, every year. And when I did that, he grew to 12 to 15%. So he grew an extra 5 to 7% just by me doing Google My Business stuff. And so that is how important Google My Business can really be for you. It will not only grow your maps listing, it will also grow your organic listing. And I'm going to see if I can show this real quick. So that way you believe me and not just be like, Jason's full of crap and he don't know what he's talking about. So let me see if I can look it up here, because it's not coming up here very good. And I'm trying to do this on the fly. I wasn't looking at getting into this, but since this was brought up, why not? So let me sign in here. I got so many different Google My Business listings under here. I got to find one that I can get y'all to see here. Actually, I'm going to show you this one. I'm going to show you one that I did for Brian, and because I'm pretty sure he ain't gonna kill me too much. So this is Brian. This is the one I did the other day. And if we go in here to Insights, and in Insights, you can see that we've had 297 searches. And you can see direct versus the other side here. So this is listings on search versus listings on maps. Now, do you think you can see when I did this for him? And you can see that listing on search is not the same as the map pack. It is actually different. Listing on search is from the, so this is the day, the 27th, that is my kid. I don't even know what that is. But you can see here that he put a bunch of pictures on right after this. He did the naming of the pictures. He did all that good stuff right at this date right here. And you can see where it really took off. This is right here when we went to Washathon. So Washathon was right in here, and look what happened. Whew, it started shaking off. And so this is what happens when we do stuff. And so this is views of his website. And so this is something that you can see that will take off from that. I don't know what this spike was, but this was a spike right here. So you can see that when we work with Google My Business, it will help our ranking on Google. And there's things that we can do for that. There's things that we can make that happen. And you can see that once, so this was when Washathon was the 1920th. Look, he started getting more visits to his website. He started getting requests to calls. And so these are some things that we can do to make that happen. And that's what we want to make it happen. We want it to be able to do that. And so, I know I teach this in my course and I go pretty deep on it. I'll probably try to do some more of it and go even further deeper into it because I know how important Google My Business is. Is content still king? There's so much content out there now that it's just unreal right now. And so for somebody, like I say, for that one YouTuber, I'm not going to mention no names, that showed how he was ranking number one. Well, I could rank anybody for pressure washing, city, state. I want to see if you can get maybe just city and pressure washing. Or let's just see if we can get ranking pressure washing in your area. Because most people typing pressure washing don't already knows they got this thing right here in their pocket called this iPhone. It already has their location. So as soon as I put that in there, it's going to tell them to do that. How do you add a geotag? You got this little thing here that adds a geotag that when we add that picture in there, we'll automatically can add that geotag with it. That used to be a big thing, but a lot of times Google My Business will strip that geotag out and just take the regular picture. So there's other things we can do with it, but a lot of times there's ways that it will do that also. Um, I went way longer on that than I should have, but that's all right. You guys got a lot of valuable information on Google My Business. So, should you pay for Google Ads? Depends. How busy are you? How are you doing anything else? That is how I grew my business to where it was through Google Ads. I knew I could put $100 in, and I could get anywhere from $500 to $2,000, depending on the year, depending on what time of year it is, depending on the day. I knew, Mondays and Fridays were good returns. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you know, they wasn't that good. Saturday, Sunday, nothing. So, it just depends on all of that stuff. Um, all of that stuff. Hey, Jason, the Giant, California checking in. I rank usually number one on the listing, almost always number one on the maps in my area. Only it costs $1,000 a month. Now, what people don't get into the habit of looking, try other people's phones. Try to make sure you're incognito, because if you're not incognito, don't do it at your house, because if you do it at your house, you will be number one every time. So you got to go different parts of the city, use different phones, use different things, use different computers. That way you can use a computer that has never been to your website, because if your phone has been to your website, it will bring that up automatically to the top. It happens. I know this because I love when people be like, I'm number one. Look, I'm right here. And then they go over here and they're like not even on the page because they only worried about that one location. Now, and when that really important is if you don't live in the counties that you are working in, then you got to do some extra work. And there's some things that you can do to make that happen, and there's some things that you're not going to overcome. There's things that um, like some things of we can only do so much that we can do at that, and so there is things that I'm trying to think what it is. One of the things is where you're located at. Wherever you're located at, that's going to have a lot to depend on where your map listing is going to be. This is great. Ask friends to search pressure washing and tell where you are at. And that's a good thing to do. If you have friends, do that. Family, all that good stuff. Google Ads can get us in that number one location of maps. That's another way to do it. That's what Mr. Kyle's talking about. In maps, we can do that. Do you change your type of ads for this time of year? Does it turn more of a branding? So when spring, yes, I turn my ads. Right now, I would be turning off my pressure washing ads, and I'd be flooring the gas on the Christmas light ads. I'd be putting everything I could on my Christmas light ads because there's a lot of money to be made in Christmas light ads. A lot. And so that's exactly what I would do. You guys don't need a fancy what? You don't need a fancy website? Are you crazy, Bill? Bill's exactly right, 100% right about that. You don't need some high dollar website. People will tell you that, but you don't at the end of the day. Use your Google My Business website, especially if you don't have one or haven't got it figured out yet. LinkedIn plus active campaign plus just call, answer the phone. You won't be able to handle the business, so be ready. You are absolutely right, Bill. If you have friends, does having a professional website and putting more toward SEO truly help take your business to the next level? Again, it it's something that is SEO is very important, positive and negative. Important, positive. I'm not going to say. Here's the thing about SEO. There's a lot of people selling some good old snake oil about SEO. A lot. You would be shocked how many people you are going to get when you don't know what you're looking for in SEO, and they'll tell you they're going to get you number one. When they say that, it's going to be what I said. They're going to look you up as pressure washing Cincinnati, Ohio 41005. Yeah, I can show you number one. I can get you for that. That's pretty easy. So that's some things that is definitely. Jason, I'd love to see more content from you on SEO. I love to pay Google less each month. I've messed with my site a lot, but I'm not sure 100% if we're there yet or no. And one reason why I don't teach a lot of SEO is because it changes, guys. That's another thing. What used to work years ago don't work now. And some of the old hats that have been out there for years and years and years that you're trying to build, that's a thing that's going to help them. A website that's been out there 20 years and has done a little bit is going to help beat your website that you're doing a whole lot. Now, is there different keywords that we can focus on? Absolutely, we can focus on different keywords. Maybe I was focused, so when I was growing my business, I focused on pressure wash Cincinnati. You can focus on pressure washing Northern Kentucky, pressure washing Hebron, Kentucky, pressure washing Loveland, Ohio. And when you focus on those little cities, that can help you. I focused on the big city and kind of went out from there. Jason's trying to get to 10 grand. He hasn't paid nothing for SEO. I have a Wix site, and some people will be like, "Well, Wix." I mean, there's a YouTube channel that is a pretty good YouTube channel to watch. Other than my channel, it's not as good as mine, but it's pretty good about this stuff. I'd have to see what it's. I don't. I just seen them come up the other day. Let me see if I can find them. But it's a good website that they kind of talk about all the different things of that kind of thing on websites and how to rank sites and all that kind of thing. And I'm not finding it. But one is Neil Patel. He's pretty good at all this kind of stuff too. So he talks a lot about it also. Hit the like button. It owes you money. uh, did you say Google My Business website would be good starting off? Would it be worth it to get one if you don't have it at all? Google My Business is a free website. You can use it for starting out. I know a lot of people that use it to start out. If you're new, don't get scared by this. You can do fine with a $12 landing page and a few tweaks on Google My Business and an old school marketing and hard work. And again, guys, don't get into the shiny object syndrome. Getting into that, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. Um, I gotta have this because this person tells me I gotta have this, and this person tells me I have to have that. And so be careful with that because I was talking to Greg when I went to down south, and Greg was talking about he was wanting to get this big fancy rig. He wanted to pay me $25,000 to build him a rig and all that kind of stuff. And what he's found out is his little $5,000 rig in the back of his truck is making him $10,000, $15,000 a month. You don't need big fancy equipment. A lot of times we go down this road of we need this because this person says that. We don't. We can be simple. We can be simple and make a lot of money at the end of the day. We don't need, the guy that I talk about making $150,000 a year. He's been at it for 4 or 5 years, and he's using the same rig with a 4 gallon a minute pump on it, and then eventually he put another 4 gallon a minute pump, and he runs them both. So he's got the hybrid 8 gallon a minute of two 4 gallon a minutes running at the same time, and does just fine. Watched your walking video yesterday. Realized all the overthinking is actually holding me back. You described me perfect. This or that or this or that. Just pick one. And that's kind of how I started this video off, because it is true. It held me back. And that's the reason why, if it was holding me back, I remember it holding me back when I first started. I kind of forgot about it. I've learned a lot of information. I forgot my beginning days, but after I started thinking about trying to do this, I remembered I do the same crap. Thanks, Greg. I'm buried. Um, Pressure washing market is dead as hell in Austin, Texas. I don't know about that. There's a lot of pressure washers in Austin, Texas. So again, make sure if you want to learn how to do pressure washing and you don't know quite and you want to get that head start, go to pressurewashhelp.com/in-person training. I'm going to be down in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, and we're going to talk about safety. We're going to talk about lift training. I've never done a lift training course. I'm probably going to try to shoot some video on lifts training that you will be eventually find in my pressure wash help. So, because I understand lifts can be scary sometimes if we've never rented one, if we've never had to be up on one, and there's a lot of things that we got to look at. And so these are some things that I will be going to do is lift training. I watched your podcast video, Jason. You are 100% correct. Right. We all do that. Your best advice yet. I mean, I did it. That's why I put that video up there, because I was like, daggone it, I can't even keep this crap from happening myself. So, um, so it happens. But again, on the first day, on Saturday, October 17th, we're going to start with pressure washing. We're going to go to do gutter cleaning and teach you how to make $1 million doing gutter cleaning. And then, I don't know if it'll be $1 million, but I mean, he does $500,000. And then we'll be teaching lift training. And then on Sunday, it's Christmas light training. I love Christmas lights, and I know a lot of people think that I'm crazy. I think they think I'm crazy when I talk about Christmas lights, but there is a lot of money in Christmas lights. Christmas lights is one of those things that is a lot of fun, and it's a lot of money. And look how beautiful this stuff is. I mean, let me move my big fat head out. Look how cool that is. You think them homeowners will go out there and be like, holy crap, that looks freaking amazing. It does look amazing. It really does look amazing, guys. And so it is something that is pretty awesome at the end of the day. Here, I'm going to go one more place. So if you need lights, go to right here. I'm only going here because I want to show the picture. Look at that. Look how awesome. You cannot think that that does not look. When that person, this person here was a billionaire. That's right, a B. Her ex-husband is a billionaire. She runs this business for him. And so this was a billionaire that owns this place. You think she was amazed when she seen this? She was very amazed. She was awed out like no other when she seen this. And so that is the cool thing about where do you buy lights? I just had that up there. Christmaslights.io. This website right here. Christmaslights.io. I couldn't get .com because I don't know who has that .io. But this is amazing place. We did the house and gingerbread. We did everything. There's some trees and bushes, and we did some fence. And then out on this side of it is this is where the Christmas trees are. They sell Christmas trees. We did a bunch of lights out there around the corrals, all kinds of stuff. So Christmas lights is definitely something that you want to look at doing. Christmas lights are a lot of fun. They really are. So you can go to christmaslightshelp.com/in-person training also. OSHA. Who wants OSHA? OSHA is everywhere, unfortunately. My wife said to me earlier, he really pushes Christmas lights. I do because Christmas, I understand. Florida people don't understand that we have this stuff up here in the north called this white stuff that comes on the ground, and it's not sand. It's called this wet stuff. It's called snow, and usually when we're getting this snow, all our rich people go to Florida, and that's why you all can keep working. And so when we get that snow on the ground, you can't work. So guess what we do? We put up Christmas lights, and it's a great way to make money. And I love Christmas lights. In fact, I used to hate Christmas lights until I started my Christmas light business. And so that is something. And it is that time of year. It is that time of year. People are starting. I know some people that are selling some big jobs already in the Christmas light side of things. Um, they're selling a lot of stuff right now with Christmas lights. Several people are selling stuff. And this is a great way to get business. If you're not buying signs, as long as you're allowed to put them up, go put signs up. Signs will get you business. Whether you're living in Christmas light land of Christmas lights or pressure washing, gutter cleaning. Signs, signs, signs. Is one way to get business. It's a cheap way to get business. It doesn't take, you don't need $10 a piece signs. If you go to this website, you can get them for less than like $3.50, and you can really get signs. And this can really make you a lot of money at the end of the day. I'm in Texas, so our white stuff cocaine. I think the only like that is for the way it smells. Uh, Thanks, guys. I will stay away from them. Good thing I came on and make a connection with you guys. Snow is that white, soft stuff into my freezer. Yeah, it's kind of like ice cream. Dude, last year for Christmas, we had a pool party and grill. You all suck. This year, this year for Christmas, actually not for Christmas, but the week after Christmas, I'm going to be in Florida teaching a pressure washing class. That's right, in Florida. January 2nd. I believe it's the 2nd. Might be the 3rd. I don't know. Whatever that Saturday. I don't know if we're going to do it Saturday or Sunday yet. It ain't in stone yet. But it's going to be 2nd or 3rd, whatever that Sunday is. And we're going to do a Christmas or a pressure washing class with Mr. Bobby Walker. So it's going to be a joint thing in Orlando. And so that will be something that will be happening. Only business I've gotten is from signs. Signs is a great way to do it, man. Signs is a way to grow your business. Do not eat the yellow snow. It's not Mountain Dew, I promise you. Even down here in Texas, you can sell Christmas lights at least one time a year, and we'll keep them up all year round. And that's the thing, guys. What people don't realize is Christmas lights is the thing about Christmas lights is you're finding a customer that has this. You're finding those customers. They're coming to you and they have this. They have expendable of this. They have so much that they just like, here you go. And so that is definitely something that is beautiful thing about Christmas lights is if they buy Christmas lights, they will buy pressure washing. They will buy gutter cleaning. They will buy anything you sell them as long as you sell them. If you don't sell them anything else, then they won't buy anything else. But if you sell them other stuff, then they will take that other stuff and run with it. So again, go get signs. Signs work good. Um, I'm going to change this program up here a little bit. King of Pressure Washing / ride along. I want to try to do some ride alongs, but I might make this a little bit more enticing for actually how to learn and stuff. So, I mean, I like doing ride alongs. Don't get me wrong. I've done two already. I'm going to be doing a third one. If anybody is on my route down from Cincinnati down to um, or shoot, I can't even think, Raleigh, and sign up here, ride along, pressurewashhelp.com/ride along, and I will maybe stop by for a little bit and get a bit. If you're doing a job, I'll shoot some video there with you, and then shoot some video, talking to you and all that good stuff, and then that might be something. So definitely go check that out right there. Pressure Wash Help or kingofpressurewash.com/ride along, and that'll take you there. Ride a lot with me. It's not that far of a drive. I know I'm never down there anymore though. I don't come down that way no more. Heck, let's do Christmas lights, Halloween lights, Valentine's lights. Yeah, absolutely. Weddings. You talk about some good money. Do some wedding lights. They like that. I want to do a ride along. I might do a ride along with you in Florida when I'm down that way. Well, I'll let you know. It'll be that week. It'll be the first 2 weeks of January. I'm going to be down there. So, again, go check out these dates. You definitely don't want to miss this training. There's way too much to learn that you can learn. I go in depth more on LinkedIn. I go in depth more on Google My Business. And obviously, I know I've told you all, but the Ben Franklin quote, I involve you in my pressure wash classes. I don't just talk to you and show you and let you get to see. You get to pressure wash. You get to hang lights. You do it all. This is a very hands-on class. This isn't Jason saying, all right, this is how you do it. No, you do it. And then I say, you're doing it wrong. Do it this way. That's usually what happens. I'm sorry. I'm not usually I'll let you screw up for a little bit, and then I'm going to correct it. Because if I don't ever correct it, then you will keep doing stupid stuff. And I don't want you to do stupid stuff. I want you to be able to make sure that you're doing it right and that you are able to go back home and do it right. And so when I teach my classes, I involve you, because when you get involved, you learn a lot more. So I know I show you on PowerPoint. I actually personally show you, and then you do it. And you do the house washing. We'll do the concrete cleaning. If the roof's bad enough, I will show you the roof. I won't allow you to do the roof because I don't want you to fall off the roof. So I will show you that kind of stuff. On the lift, if you've never been up in a lift, we have a 35-foot lift that we're going to be doing lift training. You'll be able to go up and down in the lift, and that way you'll be able to see how to work it and all that kind of stuff. So if you've never been in a lift, this will be a great training for this. Normally, I don't get a lift. If this is a success, I may start getting lifts moving forward. I'm renting the lift for the day. I know it costs money, but I want you all to be the most successful at the end of the day of making sure that you get all the information that you need, because that is something that you do. Do you provide the lights? I do. I do provide the lights, and we sell it as a service, and that way when we sell it as a service, it will help us make sure that we do it. And you can go to christmaslights.io, and I actually sell the lights too. But when I teach my Christmas light class, like this reef right here, that's my reef. And so that is definitely something that we do. Do you provide the lights on the job site? Yes. Yes. So, you can see all these lights. This is what we put up. We'll be doing several different wraps on trees. He's actually got a 15,000. Where the job we're going to do Christmas lights on is a $15,000 Christmas light job that we will be going and doing in person. So this is something that is, yeah, that sucks. That 135 sucks. I'll tell you a story about that one. So we had I don't know, it was a big tall building, and we needed a 135-foot lift. And where we were at, we had to set it back far enough to be able to be fully extended out to get to the one side. And it was the last day, so we was on this building 4 days, and I had to be in the lift every day. And I'm not a big fan of heights. And so the last day, we were up in the bucket, and the whole thing's shaking. I'm like, why is this bucket shaking? And at the time, it was my best friend up there with me. He's like, look down at your knees. My knees are going, "Dah." I said, this is stupid. Get me off of here. I do not like that lift. It always sucks. Always rent, not your responsibility of maintenance. Yeah. In lifts, when you start talking about that, it gets pretty high. You'll get a lot of money in a lift tied up and stuff. So I wouldn't buy one. And especially if you have employees, you got to make sure that you got to make sure all the maintenance is done. You got to make sure they're annually inspected, and that's got to, when they annually inspect it, they got to check all the bolts. They have to check and make sure the welds are all good. And so an annual inspection gets pretty daggone thing. So we'll be on next week. I think Tom, I was supposed to have somebody else on tonight, but I don't think he ever got my message. So that's why I came on here. And next week, I believe it's Brian Tompkin, the one that has done $100,000 this year doing it. And so that is something that is cool. Let me double check. I'll let you know. Yeah, Brian Tompkin is on next week. And so that is cool. On Thursday night, if somebody gets back to me, I might have a pretty cool guest on Thursday night. He's very well known. And so he has been doing pressure washing. Him and his family has been doing washing longer than AC has been doing pressure washing. So this is definitely something. It's Mr. Michael, and so he hasn't gotten back to me yet either. But as soon as he does, if he comes on this Thursday, or it's going to be probably in November, because I got people booked out till November. And then in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to have somebody on here about some good old bookkeeping. Who wants to learn about bookkeeping, CPA stuff? This is a good time of year if you've made some decent money this year, this is a good time of year to go to your CPA and talk to your CPA and say, what do I need to do so I don't get screwed? So I'm not paying $20,000-$30,000 in taxes. This is a good time to go see Mr. CPA to make sure that you are, when we do it in this time of year, it's called tax planning. And so when we plan, we can say, you need to go buy this or do something with some money so that way it doesn't hit you. If we try to do it in next year for this year, it's called tax fraud. And then that means we go to jail. And nobody wants to go to jail. I don't want you to go to jail. So I'm just giving you a little heads up right now that if you've made some decent money this year and your expense, if you got a lot of profit out there, you've made a lot of money that isn't all, that is not is taxable, you need to really go check it. Now, if it's under the table, I don't care what you do with it. But if you're using a credit card processing and it shows you've brought in $100,000, you better have somewhere that you have gotten rid of that money. Otherwise, you will be paying taxes on it, or $200,000 or $300,000, $500,000. So there's some things you got to do to make that happen, so that way you don't get screwed. Because I don't want you to get screwed and go to jail. That ain't a good thing. And so that is something that I really want to make sure that you do, to make sure you get that at the end of the day. So again, I am going to start sell. When are you going to start selling the wreaths? I got to put them up on the website, Williams Washington. I haven't got them up on the website yet. I got to get them up there. I'm going to try to get them up there tomorrow. I didn't have one till this past week, so I didn't have no pictures. So I got to get pictures of it. So again, hope you all have a good night. Hope you all have a good week and a successful week. I hope you all go out there and hit your goals. I know Jason's got goals. He's been boxing me every day, and so I know that he's going to do well this month. When you keep putting effort in like that, good things come out of it. When you don't put effort in things, you don't get nothing done. So, or buy some nice new trucks. You're right. Or equipment. So, again, go out there. If you want to sign up, make sure you get signed up for my class in Raleigh, and we'll see you down there. Hope you all have a good week, and go out there and hit them goals and make it happen. It is time to buy lights too. ChristmasLights.io.